So I noticed a stat that Humberto was showing me earlier. Only 2% of watches are made in Switzerland. Yet 50% of the value of watches is from there. Why is that?
Imagine what one is good for, right? If you look at certain countries, you can say, hey, you know what, Belgium's are known for their chocolate. It's the best chocolate. They invented chocolate, right? I was actually at the shop where the chocolate was invented in Brussels, right? It's in the middle of Times Square, right? The shop is still there. It was done for medicinal purposes.
How good was it when you had it? Like right there.
Great. I love chocolate. So for me, I'm just like, and then, but it's the idea. I am in the shop where it was invented and I'm eating this chocolate. It's like, you know?
Yeah.
And if you think about a fancy watch, you automatically think Swiss, and that sticks with you, right? You think about car engineering, and I'm not talking about Ferraris. You think Germany, right?
Why though? Why is the history Swiss though? Why is there a history of two guys and it's got
so original watch started. The original, very first watch, as we know, was a drum pocket watch that was done. The oldest known example that exists today dates back to 1525 to Germany. From Germany, it went to England, it went to France, and then eventually it settled in Geneva. Back then, Geneva was a state, a country state. It wasn't part of Switzerland. It was just Geneva, the state, right? And that's where all the craftsmen settled. It was just a question of where they were geographically. Now, the minute there's a center created for something, we're going back to 1700s, 1600s. The minute there's a center that's created for something, it becomes a hub, right? Just like a port city becomes a port and becomes an important trade route, right? Or a trade hub. It's the same thing. And once you have a certain population of these craftsmen, the others will flock. Apprentices will flock to learn, and eventually that will grow. And that's how you end up with Geneva being the capital of the watch world.
So it's kind of like Silicon Valley. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Exact same.
That is exactly that.
So they're over there building these. By the way, I saw this video, Rob, if you can pull this up, about Rolex. And this other guy who is a, not this, Rob, if you can go to the other one where.
I brought it, Jacob.
You did. We'll get to that. There's a watch about Rolex where it says, hey, I can't stand the fact that they're doing XYZ about Rolex and why do they do this? Similar thing that Jay Leno said about Rolex. I send it to you, Rob. We looked at it at lunch. If you don't have it, I'll text it to you. Here it is. And it's the distaste for whatever Rolex does. If you look at it, I just sent it to you. If you can pull this up. Yeah, and it was what makes people annoyed about Rolex. And I'm curious to know what your reaction is going to be to this. Go ahead, Rob.
Buy a Rolex.
Yeah.
What's so funny? We ain't selling you a Rolex. Well, I got the cash right here. If you buy $50,000 worth of jewelry, I'll put you on the wait list. $15,000? How long is the wait list? Yep. Anywhere between 1 to 2 years. Okay, let's get 10 of those watches right there. Thanks for your purchase. We'll reach out if we have a Rolex for you.
Yeah, this is one of the reasons why I am absolutely sick of Rolex. The attitude, the arrogance, and definitely the dealing under the table. Because this happens every day. I shit you not. I was in America 2 weeks ago. This is literally what a dealer said to me. I'll help you out, but you need to help me out. You need to put some money under the table. It's a disgrace and it's bad for the industry.
I would like to buy.
Is that really happening?
So the fat funny guy on the screen is actually a friend of mine. When he said he was in the U.S., he was at my house. But let me tell you how it all works. Think about a store. You're a dealer. You have a Rolex line, right? And you're a business, right? You get allocated only so many pieces. Now you go online and you say the number one most popular watch in the world is the Rolex Daytona. It's the most known watch, right? And it's also the one that's consistently has traded over its MSRP dating back to when I started, when the MSRP was $5,400, right? Today it's $16,000. I'm a dealer. I'm getting allocated this watch, but along with it, I'm also taking 20, 30, 40 other pieces that don't sell over list. In fact, I have to discount them. They're also hard to sell. And I see a Roman out there selling, at the peak of the market during COVID, the Rolex stainless steel Daytona traded at $60,000. Client calls me up and he goes, Roman, they're giving me a Daytona at retail. I said, okay, but they want me to buy a pair of earrings with it for $35,000. Do the math. 35 plus 16, we're at that $55,000 price range. What do you think of his earrings? What are they really worth? Because I'm going to dump them. I don't need them. $700. I told him I can sell him that pair of earrings for. If you did the math, at the time that Rolex traded at about $50,000. You take the earrings, they're not doing anything illegal where Rolex can't penalize them for it. But at the same token, they're getting all the money. You know why? Because all that dealer has to do is pick up the phone and say, yo, Roman, I got 5 Daytonas for you. What are you paying? Oh, market is 55. Here's 50 grand a piece. That's it. It's that simple.
Wow.
What happens with the Ferraris? What happens in car dealerships? You know, when these things are reselling for it, what you mentioned the SP3, what's the market? 5 million on it?
Double? $4 or $5 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if I now I got a guy that's sitting there making a $65,000 salary as a salesperson, and his job is to stand there all day, say, no, you can't have this Rolex, let me put you on a list. I walk in there and say, hey, it's 10 grand under the table. What is he going to do? It's real people. It's real businesses. It's just reality.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, when you think about the business side of it, it is business. I mean, you got to find a way to. But again, it goes back to it. When I was in Monaco and I'm driving around and I'm talking to everybody about watches, what should I buy? Well, you should buy this, and I'm trying to test everybody what they're going to be saying. There's a whole street in Monaco that's all watches. You go from one to the other guy to the other guy and everyone's talking shit about each other, but they're all friends. It's an interesting. You should buy from me. He's a good guy, but you should buy from me. Here's what I can do for you. And
have you been to 47th Street in New York?
Similar.
Do you have bulletproof underwear? Put them on.
Is that what it is when you go there? No, but it's an interesting thing when it comes down to these watches.
Guys, I get 1 million DMs a day. You guys are asking me, how do I get into the watch industry? Well, I've been doing this for 22 years. I don't have time to answer 1,000 DMs a day. I try my best. However, all those questions can be asked of me on Minect, and all the proceeds from those will go to my charity.
If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.